Until this point here, it's a universal clock, or however you want to see the Bible's clock, God's clock, whatever. I prefer saying the Bible's clock because God is really above time. The Bible's clock that sees from the beginning, from Adam forward, is a different clock. So I draw a line here, and this ends at 6 days with the creation of Adam and Eve. Day. Okay, now from the Bible's point of view, the duration of each day. The Bible looks forward in time, okay, from the beginning. We look back. From the Bible's point of time, don't let me down now, how long is day one from the Bible's point of time? Thank you. Well, that's a question I dread to ask. Because if there's silence, I've missed the entire point. Okay, what about day two? Also? Right, all the way down. 24 hours, day by day, phenomenal 24 hours. But from the Earth's point of view, we're looking back in time. Day number one lasts, from that same calculation, no monkey business, 8 billion years. I didn't believe the numbers. I said, Bart, I mean, you have to understand, when you've worked for years trying to understand this, and you know that science can't be in conflict with the Bible. And there has to be an again, I said, Barbara, I just can't believe these numbers are coming out. The second day lasts 4 billion years. 2 billion, 1, a half, a quarter. These are all billions of years. So now if I want to know when the day starts, the start of the day before Adam, well, I just add up how many of these days are. If the first day lasted 250 million years, and I'll forget the 6,000 years from Adam, so it started 250 million years ago, or 250 million years. Day 5 started 1/4 plus a half, or 750 million years. I'm just adding up. This is 3/4. See, this is 1/4 billion. This is this plus this, so 3/4. Does everyone see what I'm doing? Okay. This now go back to billions now. 1/4 plus a half plus 1 is 1 and 1 and 3. I'll just make it easier for me. This becomes 3 3/4 billion years. This becomes, and this becomes 15 3/4 billion. That's 10 to the 9th. It's a billion. It means billion, 10 to the 9th years. Carnegie Laboratories, Pasadena, California. Alan Sandage, quoted in the New York Times a few months ago, the best estimate for the age of the universe is a bit over 15 billion years. It's just amazing. I have nothing to do with these numbers. They have nothing to do with Bible knowledge. This calculation flows entirely from the physical universe, the heritage that we have from understanding how the physics of time relates. But the Bible told us that already in the subtle wording of Vihi Erev Vivoka Yom Echad. There was evening and there was morning, day one. And that's the subtlety. But the amazing part of the text is now, and it's because it's drawing to a close, in about 5 more minutes till I will end, that now knowing when the start of each day is, we can tell how well the Bible's claims match biblical claim, match science claims. Because not only did the author of the Bible be so sure that he, she, or it, or whatever you want to relate to God, knew the age of the universe, but also told us in outside proof what happens on each day. What happens on each day, and with that, we can then see whether the Bible's claims, and the few, only 31 sentences, remember, match the biblical claims. I go through this in 2 chapters in detail here. It is truly overwhelming, because day by day, with no exceptions, the text matches. And I'll just go through a few, because to go through them all would be more than I'm sure you want to sit through at this moment. But just quickly. First of all, the events of the day. If this is a bit longer, I'll just write the key event over here. Key event. What does the Bible say? Creation. What does science say? Well, science for years had us rolling in the aisles. Creation, until 1959. There was no beginning, no creation, right? And then comes 1965, the discovery of the Big Bang, and lo and behold, score one for the Bible. There are many subtleties in day one that I discussed in the text, but I just want to go quickly one by one. Light actually did separate from darkness. This is God separated light from the dark. That actually happened physically as the plasma condensed. Day number 2, the firmament of the heavens, the Milky Way. The Milky Way forms when? About 8 billion years ago. My gracious, score again for the Bible. Day number 3, the Bible goes out onto a limb. It says the first liquid water, H2O, right? The first liquid water. The lands are gathered together, and the first life, right? Day number 3 has the first life mentioned on it. Well, my doctorate's in 2 fields from MIT, nuclear physics and oceanography, the earth sciences, okay? So the age of the water, I knew exactly. Anyone want to make a guess? Now I want you to go way on a limb. Make a guess as to when liquid water appears on the earth. I'm going to give you a hint. The numbers on the board. You can't believe the matching. The numbers in the textbook is 3.8 billion years, an exact match. First life, the science, and I'm not knocking science, I want to get very clear. Science is my profession. Now, thank God, I spend my time primarily science in the Bible. So it's not knocking science. Science is supposed to move. See, the Bible doesn't have that option. You see, it's written down, so it can't change. But science is fluid. So it's supposed to find new discoveries. And the discoveries that it's been finding are flow that have moved from conflict to concord, from disagreement to agreement. I have to jump really quickly here. The first night, first life. On day number 3, somewhere in this period, the first life on Earth is supposed to form. This rock happens to date back right to that period, right here on day 3, right in the middle. Scientists had waxed poetic how billions of years had to pass by as life randomly evolved in a nutrient-rich soup. You can read it. Darwin said it, but other modern scientists said it recently. University of Chicago, Stanley Miller, in the 1950s. Billions of years would go, but no one says that any longer, my friends. The oldest rocks that can bear fossils contain the fossils of life. Life started immediately on the Earth. There weren't billions of years. There weren't even hundreds of millions of years. How life starts, we don't have a clue from the laboratories. But one thing we know, it happened like that. So rapidly that the discovery of the DNA functioning, everyone, who's the famous scientist? Francis Crick and Watson. They share the Nobel Prize. Said that life starts so quickly on Earth that it was probably planted on Earth. This is a person who considers himself an atheist. He's an agnostic, he says, with a tendency towards atheism, okay? Life was planted on Earth. Deliberately, he said. Deliberately planted. Because he knows there's no way of random planting it. Life, there's not enough time in the whole universe to create life, okay, by random reactions. Everyone knows that now. Even the origin of life people are looking in the laboratory for things that will force life to develop. They're called catalysts. I have to just jump down to day 5 because it's real. Day 4, the atmosphere is clear as we can see the stars. Day 5, the Bible really goes out on a limb. Can anyone, I saw you had an English, do you have an English translation? I have it here, but maybe if you want to, can you read on just read quickly on the opening sentence of day 5 so you won't think it's just me saying it? Or I'll say it anyway because I put the microphone. Do you have it?
Yes. God said, let the water teem.
Let the waters teem with living creatures. You hear what the statement is? First of all, the first life is going to be aquatic. It's going to be water life, right? Is it going to be slow or is it going to be an explosion? Let the waters teem. What does that mean? An explosion of life, right? Of animal life. An explosion of life, and it's going to be in the waters, and it's the first animals. These are the first animals that are mentioned. The time is between, on day number 5, which begins, I marked 750 million years ago and ends 250 million years ago, okay? Somewhere in this time span, the first animals will appear. They will be in the waters, and it won't be gradual. It will be an explosion. Scientific American, November 1992. Could you read that out loud? Do you mind? Just the title.
No.
The Big
Bang of Animal Evolution.
The Big Bang of Animal Evolution. I hate to read it myself because it sounds like I might be changing the words. That's why, but because of time, I'm just going to read it. Scientific American always has like a 1-paragraph summary, but you can confirm September 90. No, there are many more recent ones. There's no point in Xeroxing it every 15 minutes because every day there's more discoveries about this Big Bang of Animal Evolution. In fact, Time magazine had an extraordinarily good article on it with color pictures. This is in color. They even have a picture of my trilobite, but not this one, a perfect one. December 4th, 95. Evolution's Big Bang. Okay? Scientific American. About 600 million years... 600, my gracious. 600 million years ago, right smack dab here. Right here. 600 million years ago. A remarkable burst a remarkable birth.